All right, this project is 50 test points. That's a lot of points. We want to make sure you have the information that you need. So go ahead and write your name, put your period number. Let me go through and show you where those 50 points come from. Okay, so first, these you should be like, yes, free points. It's got to be neat. Okay, so your drawing should be neat. There should be straight lines. Like there shouldn't be marks all over it. It shouldn't be crumpled up. If that is not what your drawing looks like right now, get a piece of graph paper and redo it because it's got to be neat. That's like 4 test points. That's like getting a question correct on a test. So make sure it's neat. This paper that I'm about to show you also needs to be neat. This is the equation sheet, right? Like there's going to be some work to do here. It needs to be neat. So if you know that you're like not the neatest person, go ahead and do the work on scrap paper and then copy it over, okay? And then the final thing that needs to happen is on your drawing, you need to number your lines 1 through 10. So like when you have your drawing, like mine's a rocket ship, right? Whatever looks like this. You need to number your lines. So like if I'm checking your work, right, and I see like I'm looking at line 3, I need to see like, oh, this is line 3 over here. So those numbers can just be small, but they just need to be neat, and I need to be able to see them on your original drawing so that when I'm checking line 3, I can easily find it on your drawing. Okay, so that's 11 points. Those are like free points, right? You just gotta, like, they have to be neat, period. Okay, now I'm gonna be choosing, you're gonna be doing math for 10 lines, right? And the lines are here. It starts here. There's the vertical lines 1 and 2, the horizontal lines 3 and 4, and then your slanted lines 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now just like, I am not gonna grade 10 because it's gonna take me forever to do that for 150 people. I'm gonna grade 3 lines. Now, I'm gonna choose the 3 lines. So when I go to grade it, I'll list like, oh, I'm gonna grade line 3, line 5, and line 8, right? And then I will grade that you have the endpoints correct, okay? That you have the slope correct, the slope intercept, the domain, and range. Okay, and you can see like on each of the lines, you're gonna be asked to provide the 2 endpoints. That's just where the lines end on the graph, okay? You're gonna find the slope using the slope formula. Okay, you're gonna check, does that slope match the graph? Like when you look at the graph, did you get a positive number and the slope on the graph is positive? When you count rise over run, does it match? And then you're gonna actually go ahead and use the slope in one of the endpoints, right? And you're gonna plug in to y equals mx plus b, and you're gonna like plug in the y and the slope and the x, and you're gonna solve for b, right? And you're gonna get your equation. And then you're gonna say, okay, like let's say you got b was like 5, right? You were like, oh, b equals 5, and you wrote your equation and it was 2x plus 5 or whatever it was. You're gonna say, oh, okay, the y-intercept is the 0.05. Is that where the y-intercept is on the graph? And you'd go and you'd look at your graph and you say, does my line actually hit the y-axis at 5? And then it should, right? And you should check that box. And if it doesn't, you should redo your work. And then your domain and range right here, you'll put your x like this, you'll put the left value of your line and the right value. And the same deal with the range, you'll put the bottom value and the top value. And then you're gonna go ahead and graph this in Desmos. So whatever you get as your line, like I'm just gonna like make up numbers here. When you go to graph this in Desmos, what you'll type the equation of the line, and then you'll type the domain restriction. That's what this is called. It's called a domain restriction, where you kind of cut part of the line. You'll type this in Desmos and it'll graph the line exactly like it looks on your drawing. Okay, now that is what's being graded, all those pieces. So you'll get so half your grade comes from like the work on this worksheet being correct. Okay, now the other large chunk of your grade comes from, you're gonna take all this work that you do on these 10 lines, and you're gonna type them into Desmos, and you're gonna end up with your drawing on Desmos. So you get 1 point per line. Now, you're also gonna print that Desmos graph out. Okay, you can do it in the library, you can do it at home if you have a printer, but you're gonna print it out and you're gonna turn it in with the project. So that's another 5 points just for printing it out, and you can find directions on a separate link. Okay, so that's 15. Now, so what I've gone through so far, 11 points plus 24 points plus 15 points. That's 50 points. That's full credit. Okay, I'm going to go through also some of your extra credit options in a moment. Now, note, the due date for this project is Tuesday, December 5th. So after that, you're going to be losing points, which is really silly because you're still going to do all the work, but you're going to lose points, so don't turn it in late. Okay, go ahead and take a moment, put a check in this box right here. That shows you've listened to this video, you understand the grading criteria. I'm going to go through some of the extra credit options. First, you can turn in work by the 17th. That's the day before Thanksgiving break. So you can get this done before Thanksgiving break, be done with it, get it off your plate, and get extra credit. Okay, you can also turn it in the Friday after Thanksgiving break for just 1 extra credit point. Okay, highly encouraged to just get it done before Thanksgiving break. So you can earn extra credit like that. You can neatly color in either the drawing or the Desmos printout. Just make it pretty and nice. That's an extra 2 points. And then a lot of you have a very simple drawing that has just like 10 lines or so. But if you have a more complicated drawing, you can get extra credit for recreating the whole drawing in Desmos, not just the first 10 lines, which is required. You can get, if your drawing is 11 to 20 lines and you recreate the whole thing, you can get 2 points. If you have a really elaborate drawing that's more than 20 lines and you recreate the whole thing, that would be 3 extra credit points. All right, and once again, the due date is December 5th. After that, if you turn it in December 6th, you're gonna lose 5 points. If you turn it in December 7th, you're gonna lose 10 points, okay? So please don't do that. If you have questions about the grading, ask.